guys, welcome back. It is Christian here. Thank you so much for joining me today. So today we have an Ulta haul. All right, here, I'm ready for you guys. I got my makeup ready to go as if I need an excuse to buy makeup, because we all know that I don't need an excuse to buy makeup. But when Ulta has 5 times the points and then they send me a 20% off coupon, we already know I'm in there. Like, I'm ready to spend my money. I'm ready to swipe my card because we all love a good sale and we all know that I cannot resist a discount. So if you guys are interested in all the things that I did pick up from Ulta, then you are definitely in the right place. But before I get into the video, I just want to say that if you are new to my channel, welcome. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you do not mind, go ahead and hit the subscribe button down below. Subscribing to my channel just ensures that you do not miss any future upcoming videos. And if you are not new to my channel, welcome back. Thank you for continuing to join and support. And yeah, let's go ahead and dive into all of the things that I have picked up from Ulta recently. These were not all purchased at one time because Ulta, like I mentioned, had different coupons going on at different times, 5 times the points. They were doing 5 times the points on all purchases. And there was one time where they were doing it on Anastasia. I think they were doing it on Tarte. I love Ulta and I love a good Ulta sale. But then they issued me a 20% off coupon for being diamond. So I wanted to go ahead and take advantage of that. I had recently ran out of 2 of my most used perfumes, daily perfumes, which was Prada Candy and the Viktor and Rolf Flower Bomb. So the first 2 things that I picked up, because I thought it was the best time to go ahead and do so with that 20% off coupon, I went ahead and repurchased both of those perfumes. Now I did just go ahead and buy the 1.7 ounces. Originally I was going to buy the 3.4 ounces of the Prada Candy, and I was not going to purchase this. But since I decided to go ahead and buy both at the same time, even though it did have the 20% off coupon, and I did use my points as well, because I want to say $150 worth of points, I decided to go ahead and just get smaller versions of both of these. And these are just 2 of my favorite everyday perfumes. I just love them. They're classics. So this is the Prada Candy. I picked up the Flower Bomb, which is this guy right here. So I'm super excited. I actually also ran out of because whenever I try a perfume for the first time, I always buy the smaller bottles, the 1 ounce bottles. And if I go through the entire bottle, then I'll repurchase the larger one next time if I really, really like it. I also just recently ran out of my YSL Mon Paris, I think. I'm not sure the name, and I will probably be picking up that one next. I decided not to get that one first because I feel like these 2 last on the skin a little bit longer than that one, and I do prefer those 2 a little bit more. So the next thing that I picked up, I've been trying to get a little bit more out of my comfort zone, testing out some new products, trying to find the next best thing, which is something that I'm always doing. I do think that I have recently found a brow pencil that I like more than this guy, but this is my holy grail brow pencil, and it's something that I will probably continue to pick up time and time again because it just works. It's easy to use. It is a perfect color. Like the brow pencil that I'm wearing today, it's the Dior brow pencil, I forget the name of it, but it's one of the brow pencil that everybody was hyping up for a while. I love that brow pencil. I do think that I got a little bit of a too dark of a shade. So next time when I repurchase it, I'll probably buy a little bit of a lighter shade to make it work a little bit better. But this is, like I mentioned, my holy grail brow pencil for the time being. But I do think I might like that Dior one more. This is the Benefit Precisely My Brow Pencil in the shade number 3. It has a super fine tip. It's very easy to get natural hair-like strokes. It glides onto the skin perfectly. The Anastasia Brow Wiz used to be my favorite, then I replaced it with this guy. So when you're a makeup lover, you always have to be looking for the next best thing, you know what I mean? Like, you always want to find that thing that's going to make your job easier, that's going to make your makeup look better, and it's just this never-ending cycle. But I'm the type of person that I get in ruts to where I just reach for the same products over and over again. So I'm trying to get into the habit of testing out new things. This is the brow pencil here. You get your spoolie on one end, of course, and then you get your super fine, precise brow pencil on the other end. I've gone through so many of these. I love Benefit's entire brow line. I've been using their powder a little bit too. I've never been a powder person, but I've been using that recently and I've been really into it. The next thing that I picked up is something from Morphe. I actually think I got 2 things from Morphe. This is the Morphe Continuous Setting Mist. Now, I either did an anti-haul or I featured this in a video saying that it was something that I wasn't gonna buy, and you guys were just like, no. Like, telling me how this was actually one of the best setting mists that you've ever tried. And I never really had any intentions of picking it up, but now that Morphe is at Ulta, I was kind of like, you know what, I can go ahead and give it a shot. I can go ahead and try it out because I never, for whatever reason, didn't want to buy directly from the manufacturer's website. I always prefer buying from like Ulta, Sephora, even Beautylish is okay, but since this is available at Sephora or at Ulta now, I decided to go ahead and give it a shot. And I'm gonna go ahead and try it out, even though I've got about 3 setting sprays on my face already. Let's give it a spray. Okay. Woo, it is not okay. It is nice. It is super fine, and it does feel really refreshing. So I'm gonna go ahead and have to play with this a little bit more because obviously I've only tried it the one time, so I can't have a real opinion on it right now. So I will keep you guys up to date on that. Now, the next thing that I picked up is a repurchase, and this is something that I had actually been out for quite a while, but it is one of my favorite primers of all time, if not my favorite pore filling primer of all time. This is the Tarte High Performance Timeless Smoothing Primer, and I love this stuff. This is holy grail status for sure, and I didn't pick it up. I hadn't repurchased it in such a long time because I wanted to try new things. Like I mentioned, I've been wanting to try new things, and I've also been trying to use up other things in my collection instead of just going out and running out of a favorite and just going out and repurchasing it. I've got probably 15 pore filling primers in my collection, and I just wanted to, you know, give some of those things a little bit of a love before I repurchased this guy. But with the 20% off coupon, I thought, you know what, now or never. I know that I love it. I'll purchase it. I can still go through some of my other products and then just have this on backup. It's a super thick primer, but it blends into the skin effortlessly. You need the tiniest bit, and you can just kind of really press it and melt it into your pores. This is one of the best primers that I've ever tried for pore filling and line smoothing. I have raved about this primer on my channel for a really, really long time, and I love it. So, 2 things that I picked up that, to be honest, I had no intentions of actually buying. They both went on Hot Buy at one point over the last, I'd say, month. Hot Buys are kind of like Sephora's versions of Weekly Wow, kind of, where they'll take a product for a while, like a week or so, and then they'll put it on usually 50% off. So I decided to go ahead and pick up both of these. I didn't need either one of them, and I probably would not have purchased them full price, but I've been kind of talking to you guys about a new series that I'm going to be starting on my channel very soon. The first video that was kind of like the teaser of that already went up on my channel, and I had to go ahead and pick up both of these because we're going to be talking about these products very soon and the collections of these products very soon. So I wanted to go ahead and round out my collection, and that is honestly 100% the only reason I purchased these for those upcoming videos. This is the Tarte Toasted palette, and this is the most recent addition to the Tarte Tartelette lineup. They originally did the all matte palette, one that was a little bit more mauvey. Then they released the gosh, I can't even remember what it's called right now. The Tartelette in Bloom, and then they released the Toasted last year. This one definitely got mixed reviews. People who love the Tartelette in Bloom definitely, I heard, didn't love this one as much, but then some people were like, I mean, it's Tarte, it's pretty consistent with what Tarte has to offer. They're very basic, neutral, you know, neutral eyeshadow palettes. This one does lean a little bit more warm toned than the In Bloom, but you get a mixture of your mattes and your shimmers, unlike the original Tartelette palette, which was all mattes. Now those were pressed a little bit harder, and I know a lot of people did not like the original one. I actually didn't mind the original one. So because we're going to be doing some videos very soon on brand specific items, I wanted to, like I mentioned, go ahead and round out my collection and try these out. So you get, it looks like you get 12 shades, which is the exact same layout of all of the other palettes. And how many of them are shimmers? It looks like you get 4 more satiny metallic, not really metallic. I would definitely say they look to appear to have a little bit more of a satin finish to them. Then you get 1 that appears to be a matte that has some fine glitter inside of it, but the base of the actual shadow is matte. And then the rest of the shadows appear to be fully matte as well. Let's go ahead and swatch a couple. This is the shade Crackle, the one that has the glitter infusion. Then we have the shade Cozy. I mean, they appear to be swatching really well. Then we have the shade Flame. And then let's do one more. We'll do the shade Candle. So that is a couple of them swatched on my hand, and they appear, like I mentioned, they seem to be swatching really, really well. So we'll have to play with them on the eyes, and that way I can give you a little bit more of an update in that future video series that will be coming probably maybe August, because I need to test out some of these products before I can actually start filming those videos. If you watched last week's video where I was talking about, you know, beauty brands needing to having unoriginal ideas and them needing to come out with some new different things. I mentioned Too Faced as being the ultimate culprit of kind of releasing the same stuff over and over again. I mentioned in that video that I actually did not have this particular palette, but it went on sale for 50% off at Ulta. So I decided to go ahead and pick it up again because I am planning an entire series dedicated to the video from last week. I think I titled it like Unoriginal Ideas of a Beauty Brand. So I wanted to go ahead and pick this up. I would not have purchased this full price, and if it were any other reason other than the video series that I'm wanting to start, I would not have purchased this at all, because it was just never anything that really caught my eye. I loved the original chocolate bar palette. That's one of my favorites. The second one was pretty good too, and this one just for some reason never really appealed to me. I don't know if it was the pink packaging, I don't know if it was the hearts, I'm not entirely sure, but this is the Too Faced Chocolate Bonbon Palette, and this is nothing new, and it is very reminiscent of pretty much a lot of Too Faced palettes. You've got the pinks, you've got the neutrals, you've got the basically browns. The layout is similar to their other palettes. You have the two larger, more highlighty shades, and then you have your standard eyeshadows. The difference is this one is in the shape of a heart. The Too Faced Peach palette, they got rid of the two bit larger highlighter shades and just made all of the shades essentially the same color. So I can automatically see the pops of pink, which is something that Too Faced is pretty known for doing. They have their purple in there. They have a couple champagne-y shades, and pretty much everything in here other than that is pretty much browns. There's a couple of cool tones. I don't really see too many warm tones, but maybe swatch, they'll appear a little bit more warm toned. And then this one is cool tone. You've got some cool tones here. So this one definitely I feel leans a little bit more cool tone, because that definitely is a cool tone pink as well. So I'm going to play with this probably for the next week or two, so that way I could form my opinions on these extra palettes before I start, like I mentioned, that video series. Oh my gosh, I didn't realize how much stuff I had picked up. Okay, so I actually picked up two more Morphe products, so let me go ahead and pull them out. So I went ahead and picked up one of the Morphe sponges. This is the Flawless Beauty Sponge, and I actually also just recently picked up the Sonia Kashuk sponge from Target. I tried this for the first time today, and I actually really like it. I'm kind of overspending $20 on beauty blenders. I definitely think that beauty blenders are staples, but if I can find something that's just as good or better, I want to save my money where I can save my money. So I decided to go ahead and pick up this guy. I want to say that this was about $7, and the Sonia Kashuk one was $7 as well, but I got it in a 2-pack for $10. Then the next thing that I picked up from Ulta is the Morphe and Bretman Babe in Paradise, and this is a highlighting palette. I want to say that this retailed for $29, but it also came with a brush. Now, Bretman Rock is actually not somebody that I follow on YouTube. Or is he an Instagram personality, or does he do both? I'm honestly not sure, but I know that he is huge. He's just not somebody that I personally follow. But I wanted to go again test out Morphe a little bit more, because with the exception of the Jaclyn Hill palette, I want to say that that's the only Morphe product that I own. And their brushes are decent for the price. I do own quite a few of their brushes, and there's a couple of them that are in my staple everyday routine. They're not the best brushes that I own, but they're definitely good. You get a fan brush with this particular little palette, and I don't typically use fan brushes for my highlighter, but I'm definitely willing to try it out. And then this is the palette itself. Really cute palette, very tropical. I guess it's called Bretman in Paradise, so that makes sense. So it definitely fits the theme. This is the back here. And then you open it up, and then you get your 6 highlighter shades. I needed another highlighter palette. Like, I didn't need another highlighter palette, like, at all. Definitely this highlighting palette, I probably should not have purchased this, because I'm looking at this and just at first glance, without swatching anything, these 3 shades appear to be way too dark, and it looks like these 3 are going to be the only ones that are going to work for me. Let's go ahead and give these a little bit of a swatch. Let's see if they'll work. So this one looks like a little bit, oh, they actually feel pretty decent. So that one is a little bit more of a pinky tone. Yeah, that one definitely has a really pink shift. I don't even know how I'll feel about that on the tops of my cheekbones. I mean, they're definitely a little bit more, I mean, they definitely have some shine to them. So, I mean, they look pretty. Let's go ahead and swatch one of the darker ones. Yeah, that's going to be too dark for the tops of my cheekbones. So there's another one there. I mean, they don't appear to have any glitter. This is a really pretty bronzy shade. If you have deeper skin, that's pretty. They don't appear to have any glitter to them. They just look like a very nice high shine pigmented highlighter. I just don't know how well it's gonna work for me. I have been testing this guy out. I have no idea where the actual palette is at the moment because it's not in the box. Found it. So I have been testing this out. Again, if you watch my video, the last video that I posted, it should be the last video before this video goes live. I said that I was really excited about this particular palette because it's something different than the Urban Decay Naked palettes, which I feel like they've been doing for so long. And it's the first time in a while since the Naked Heat that I've actually purchased an Urban Decay palette, if I remember correctly. I don't think I have. I could be wrong, but this is the Urban Decay Born to Run eyeshadow palette. And overall, I think that this is a really nice palette. It has everything that you need to complete an entire look, which is what the purpose of the palette was. You've got berries, you've got oranges, you've got some really pretty like mossy greens, deep greens, you've got your bronzes, your coppers, purples, you've got, you know, really pretty champagne colors, you've got your deepening shades, really pretty peach crease shades. So I think that this is a well thought out, well put together palette. Now, I'm gonna have to pull out some of my Vice palettes because I have heard some people say that this is basically just a repackaged Vice palette, which when I originally looked at this, I didn't really get that vibe, but I've heard a couple of people say that, so I might have to pull that out and test it. I've gotten great pigmentation on the eye. They've blended really well. They've worked really well on the eye for me. You can get a really good number of looks out of this palette, so overall, I've actually really been liking it. I mean, let's go ahead and swatch a couple. So you have Guilt Trip here, which is really pretty. And I know some people will say that swatches don't do anything, and they don't. It's always how it performs on the eye. But this is, I mean, the mattes feel really creamy and buttery and smooth. The metallics work extremely well. I just think overall this is a good palette, you guys. And most of the reviews that I have watched, I haven't really heard anybody say anything negative about it. And I am a sucker for a good orange. If you remember, go way back on my channel, I mentioned talking about a Kat Von D palette where the only reason that it was one of her discontinued palettes. I think it was the Monarch palette. The only reason I purchased that palette was because of the really super vibrant orange in there. And that was before like warm tone orangey creases became like a huge thing. I feel like that palette doesn't get enough hype for being a very warm tone on trend palette, but it was kind of on trend before it was trendy. Did that make sense? Anyways, I might need to do a video about that. Okay, so I didn't realize I had this much stuff, but this is over the course of, like I said, probably a good month because of the sales. So what do we have next? I don't know why I felt the need. You guys, I am so sorry for my hair. My friend got married this past weekend, or this weekend that I'm filming this video, and my hair is in between that curly and straight phase, and I don't like washing my hair too often, and the only way that my hair is going to curl back up is once I wash it, and I need to go at least another day before. I don't like washing my hair too often, and I just washed it yesterday, so this is kind of what we're dealing with for another day or two. But anyways, I picked up 4 freaking concealers. I don't know why I picked up 4 concealers. Well, I know why. 2 of them are repurchases and 2 of them are new concealers. So the 2 that are repurchases that we're just going to briefly touch base on, because you guys have heard a lot about both of these, pretty sure. So I picked up the Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer in Light Neutral. And then I also picked up the Bare Minerals Bare Skin Complete Coverage Serum Concealer in the shade Light. Now this concealer does not get enough love. It never got enough love. It's a great concealer. The only other YouTuber that I ever really like hear talking about it in like a positive way is Jamie Page Beauty. And then the Urban Decay Naked Skin was everybody's favorite concealer until Tarte Shape came out, but this is still one of my favorite concealers. This is a concealer that I have to have at all times. Literally at all times. If I run out, I have to purchase it because it is my holy grail concealer. This concealer never fails me and I love it. So I had to repick this up, and then I decided to go ahead and repurchase this because, again, 20% off, 5 times the points. I'd been out of it for a while and I have been liking light coverage foundations, a little bit more of light coverage, and this concealer is perfect for those little bit more natural, lighter coverage days, but it can definitely be built up and give you really nice, beautiful, even under eyes. So I decided to go ahead and pick this guy up as well. Again, not enough love for this concealer on YouTube in the social media realm of things because it's actually a really great one. Then I picked up, of course, the new which everybody is talking about right now. And I'm super excited about this concealer because it's supposed to be, I like the Tarte Shape Tape, but the Tarte Shape Tape, it depends on the day of the week. It depends on the makeup look I'm going for. Tarte Shape Tape, I have a very love-hate relationship. I love it sometimes, or other times where I really can't stand it because it can be too drying underneath the eyes. So this is supposed to have all of the benefits of Tarte Shape Tape, the coverage, the smoothness, the pigment, but it's not supposed to be as drying, or at least that's what I've heard. And you get more product in this guy as well. Everybody thought that the Tarte Shape Tape had a ton of product. This has more. So I'm going to say that this is $2 more than the Tarte Shape Tape. This is $29, and I believe the Tarte Shape Tape is $27. This is, let me tell you what this is. This is the Too Faced Born This Way Super Coverage Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer. And I picked mine up in the shade Vanilla. I went safe on this because I ordered it online. If I remember correctly, Vanilla is actually like my actual foundation shade, so I don't know how well this is going to highlight for me. But again, even the Urban Decay Naked Skin in Light Neutral isn't really a highlighting shade. It's more of like my skin tone shade. So I'm not really into the super bright under eyes. I can never pull them off. I always feel like it just looks weird whenever I try it. So I kind of always like my concealer to kind of match my foundation. And then I'll go in with like a banana powder or a brightening powder underneath and kind of get the brightness from that. But this is what the packaging looks like. I didn't realize for the longest time when I was seeing the promos of this, I thought they were just releasing smaller sizes of the foundation, like travel sizes, because a lot of brands will do that, sometimes release smaller versions of their foundations. I had no idea that this was a new product until I started seeing everybody on YouTube talk about it, and then I was like, oh, it's a foundation. I mean, it's a concealer, because the packaging is the exact same as the foundation. So I don't know why I thought that, but in my mind it made sense. And I cannot wait to try this. Like, I have a feeling that this is going to be a good one. And the only thing, it's marketed as a touching concealer, a highlighting concealer, and a contouring concealer. I don't know that I would buy it for contouring. I don't know if I would buy it for touching up. I think it's just going to be something that I use directly for underneath my eyes. And the fact that I bought it in the shade Vanilla, which is pretty much my foundation shade, I will be able to spot conceal with it as well. So I'm super excited about this. And I feel like this is going to last forever. And then the next thing that I picked up, which I actually wanted to pick up during Ulta 21 Days of Beauty because this was during Ulta 21 Days of Beauty, but it's sold out. This is the Estee Lauder Double Wear Stay in Place Flawless Wear Concealer. And the main reason I picked this up is because of Tarte. She's always talking about this concealer. She's the only person that I ever really hear talking about this concealer, but she says it's one of her faves. So I wanted to go ahead and give it a try. I picked it up in the shade 1C Light Cool, which doesn't seem like a shade that I would actually pick up. I usually tend to go for neutral shades. That actually looks really light. This might actually be a highlighting shade on me. I might have to mix that. Oh yeah, that's light. That's too light. I might actually have to mix this in with a different concealer because that's going to give me, yeah, that's probably going to give my under eyes a gray cast because that's a pretty light shade. That didn't seem like a shade that I would pick up. We'll try it. If not, I'll exchange it for something. I would probably need maybe a shade darker. We'll test it out and we'll see. Because I do have, if you can tell, I do have a little bit of a tan going on. You can see my fitness watch right here and then like my skin. You can say, so I don't usually tan, but for some reason I tanned this year. I never really tan. We are almost done. This product I picked up, and I already told you guys in my last video that I had already picked this up. I am a sucker for an Anastasia glow kit. I'm kind of over her glow kits at the same time, but at the same time I love them so much. So it's always this back and forth with me and her glow kits. I can never resist. The only one that I was able to like fully resist and be like, I don't need that, was the Aurora glow kit. Like, I didn't really have a desire for that one, but all of the other ones I feel like I have picked up. This is the Dream glow kit, and this is what she looks like. I mean, I'm not gonna use this. I don't know why I bought this. There is one everyday wearable shade in here for me. The rest of them will just have to be shades that I would wear either on the eye or on YouTube. Like this Magic shade, it freaking has a grain shift. Ooh, it's pretty though. It is really pretty. Oh, it's like okay, actually, that is super like, that's actually gorgeous. It has a really pretty duochrome to it, and I think you can pick that up on camera. Like, so it goes pink here. It looks like a little bit bluish there. That's pretty. Let's try the shade Wish. Anastasia knows how to make a highlighter. So this is the shade Wish right here. Wow, these are beautiful. Let's try the shade Regal. Actually, that is more wearable than I thought it was going to be. They actually kind of all appear to be a little bit more wearable than I was expecting. Those are beautiful. I cannot wait to try this out. I already know that I'm going to love it because I love all of her glow kits. Again, this is the Anastasia Dream Glow Kit. I mean, look at the packaging, just everything about her glow kits is just right. She's the only person that I'm kind of like, okay, fine. If you're going to keep releasing them, fine, fine. But everybody else, I'm just kind of like, stop already. We don't need any more highlighting palettes. But I'm going to keep buying them probably. So the next thing that I picked up was completely on a whim. I'm not even 100% familiar with who this person is on YouTube. I picked it up because of Puffin. Puffin's wife is somebody that I have recently really been enjoying watching. She's beautiful and I just really like her makeup and the way her makeup looks. And I don't really buy a lot of things that she recommends because she definitely is a little bit more of a luxury YouTuber, and she buys, you think I buy a lot of makeup? She buys a lot of makeup. So just every once in a while, those few things that stick out to me, I tend to pick up. And this is the Aspyn Ovard palette. I don't think you can get this anymore. I had to pick mine up online. I tried to get it in store, but it was sold out in all of my local Ulta stores here in Houston. And I want to say that I went to 3 of them, and the display was there, but the product itself was not. It's really beautiful packaging, and this is what you get on the inside. Again, the packaging is absolutely stunning, but I'm gonna be honest, this is the most basic of basic eyeshadow palettes. Like, it's not gonna go very deep. It's not gonna give you a lot of definition. It's just gonna be a really pretty everyday wearable palette. Emily Noel also did a review on this as well, and I liked her review overall. She gave it pretty positive reviews, and she is somebody, again, I don't watch her a lot, but whenever I need to know, like if I'm on the fence about something or if I want a review that I feel like I can trust, I will go search it and see if Emily Noel has talked about it. You get 9 eyeshadows, and then you get 2 face products. You get a blush and a highlighter, and again, these, if you're much darker than me, if you're anything more than maybe 2 shades darker than me, I don't know how well this palette will work for you because it's very light. I'm an NW20 in MAC, and this is pretty light. So this color is speaking to me. I mean, it definitely looks a little bit chunky. It's pretty. It's a pretty bronze, but it's nothing unique or original. We got the shade Wanderlust. I mean, they have some pigment to them, and they are actually a little bit deeper than I was expecting them to be because they don't look that deep in the pan. But your transition shades, your matte shades aren't very deep, so that might be where the problem comes in. That's a matte right there. And the swatch, that's just not a good swatch. I just wanted you guys to kind of see the color. I'm running out of places to swatch. Let's go ahead and swatch the actual face highlighter. The highlighter, the face highlighter looks really pretty. So, I mean, this palette, and it smells nice. And I mean, the palette is really nice. It was $39, so I feel like you get a decent amount of product for what you're paying for. We'll just have to see how it works out on the face and the eyes, but it looks promising if you just want your basic everyday, oh my gosh, you guys, my hair, I'm so sorry. If you just want a basic everyday neutral palette. The next thing I picked up is by Laura Geller. This is the Baked Gelato Swirl in Diamond Dust. This also was a hot buy, and Laura, these are really nice. I think I have 1 or 2 more in my collection, Gilded Honey and 1 more. And I decided to go ahead and pick this up. And this looks like it might maybe be a little too light. Again, this is in the shade Diamond Dust. And ooh, it's like a really pretty duochrome. No, that'll work. That actually looks similar, but just not as blinding as the Anastasia one that I just swatched. But the Anastasia one looks a little bit more reflective. I mean, it's pretty. It definitely has a duochrome pinky purple shift. So it's really pretty, so we'll test it out. But I think compared to the Anastasia ones that I just swatched, this one doesn't really compete. So we'll test it out and we'll see. Last 2 products and then we're done. I picked this up because this has been getting a lot of really good reviews, and it's been so hot here that I just want something a little bit more lighter coverage, something easy to kind of apply, no muss, no fuss. This is the Lancome Skin Feels Good. What is it called? Hydrating Skin Tint Healthy Glow. It has an SPF of 23, and I picked mine up in the shade 01N in Nude Vanilla. And let's see, it says that this hydrating skin tint is a sheer coverage. Let your natural beauty shine through with this hybrid skin-loving makeup that goes beyond instant results. This lightweight skin tint is enriched with naturally derived hydrating superheroes. It has hyaluronic acid. It increases skin hydration by more than 50%. I mean, it sounds like a really good foundation, and I was really excited about this. And then I've been getting really bad breakouts recently, all right here. Some pretty bad ones. And I've been getting these weird like whitehead things on my chin. Like my chin right now is so bumpy and so weird. So I was so excited about going lighter coverage. Now I'm like, I don't want to go lighter coverage because my skin is freaking out. And that actually looks dark for my skin. So we might have to exchange this. Let me see, because that looks dark. Oh, and it has a pump. Let's see. I've got glitter and eyeshadow all over, so yeah, that's gonna be too dark. You can already tell. Yep. So can you guys see that? It is gonna be too dark and too yellow. So we'll definitely have to exchange this. It blends into the skin pretty nicely, but you can see the more orangey. I said yellow, but it definitely has a little bit more of an orangey cast. It actually blends into the skin a lot better than I thought it would. But it's probably because it's such a light tint that you can probably get away with it a little bit more, but I want something that's going to match me a little bit better, so I'm probably going to exchange that. And then the last thing, out of everything in this haul, this is the one thing I did not need. But Becca, man, and like I mentioned, I can make a whole video talking about Becca and their Becca-ness and how they just get you like with their beautiful packaging, their one limited edition shade where you feel like you have to buy it before, and then 2 months later they release it as permanent. This was just beautiful. And again, this has some really mixed reviews, so I don't know how I feel about it, but we'll play with it. I've heard that the bronzer is too warm, the powders don't really do anything for you, and the blush is too shimmery. I bought this right when it first came out before I started seeing a lot of reviews for it, but I was just excited about the packaging. One thing that I do like that Becca does do, one thing that I liked is that they released 2 versions of this. They released a light medium and then a more medium deep, so more people can try out their products. And so I really appreciated that fact. So I will commend them for that. That's something that I really wish that Hourglass would do. But anyways, I'm not sure about this. I'm not gonna swatch it because I might actually end up returning this. And I don't wanna swatch it and then return it, especially because it's brand new and I've never used it. But anyways, you guys, that is everything. No part 2s. We did it all in this video. You know I love to do a part 2 because I've been buying so much stuff, but I did pre-film a Sephora haul last week, but with everything going on, I pre-filmed 3 videos last week and I just didn't have time to edit or upload any of them. So hopefully I'm gonna get one of either the Sephora haul video or this one edited and uploaded, so that way we can have a makeup haul Monday video. And yeah, you guys, I really hope that you did enjoy this video. Give it a thumbs up if you did enjoy it. If you got a 20% off coupon from Ulta, let me know in the comments below some of the things that you picked up, or if you took advantage of 5 times the points, because I'm telling you, I had $150 in Ulta points because of the 5 times the points, and then I got a 20% off coupon. Like, I was living my best life. But anyways, you guys, thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys.